Hello, creative people. Welcome to the week 2 of Mindfultober, and this is my second tutorial for the topic flow or flowing. I made actually 2 drawings thinking about this topic and trying to figure out how I'm gonna approach this. You see this, the number 1 and this number 2, and I decided that this is actually, it's not about the design, but it's more about the feeling. That's why I picked this topic when we were all picking a topic. This is the week 1. If you haven't watched for Sky, you can go and watch this one as well and catch up and make your sky as well with using these watercolors and patterns. For flow, I made this too, and I actually wanted this word to be kind of like a mindset, like just not making a flowing design or something flowing like water to illustrate, but more like you get yourself into a flow state and you find a way, like without thinking too much, just let it flow out of you and see what comes out. So when I was thinking about this, I made 2 of those designs you saw, and then I in the previous one I made a copy, and then I made it again. When I was happy with it, I made the second one. But for this one I decided, okay, I made this 2, but I'm not gonna think or to try to copy this one. I'm just gonna start and see where it takes me, basically. And this at the moment is that's what you are watching. I had no plan. I made 2 paintings like I showed you, but I decided start a blank page and let it flow and let's see where we'll end up. And that's what I'm doing. So for that I decided to make 3 big circles, 3 middle circles, 3 smaller circles, and then 3 tiny circles. I make up these rules when I'm doing these drawings. I don't know why. You can do the same. And so I started placing them, just putting one and looking for where the next one could be. And as you can see, this squiggly line wasn't really perfect. But I'm adding this more weight with the brush pen to them. You can see that I'm kind of fixing them. Sometimes I'm putting on the inside, sometimes, as you can see here, I'm putting on the outside, because it makes the curve looking better this way. If it needs, I put on the inside. So at the end, even though my initial lines weren't so great, thanks to this technique, thanks to adding weight with the brush pen, I can kind of fix them. So this also gives me the freedom to start and don't worry too much about it. And now that's what I'm doing. I'm adding weight to my lines. This brings a bit more depth to the otherwise 2-dimensional drawing. And once I'm done with this, I move on to the neurographic art part. This is the part that actually kind of enchanted me and made me really go into this. And eventually I went on to making my own courses on this topic. I have 6 of them right now on Skillshare. You can find the link in bio and go and see them. They are called Abstract Watercolor Escape, because that's how it feels like to me, that once I'm into this, I don't think anything else. I just want to keep going. This is the first week again I showed. I don't remember why. This is because it's a voiceover. I'm adding this voice later. So I'm adding this, what is neurographic lines? Basically, when the 2 lines are connecting, I don't leave any sharp corners, that I'm kind of rounding everything up. And this gives a very organic look. I guess that's also where it takes its name. They kind of look like neurons in our nervous system. And also it's a very calming art practice doing this, that just looking for the connections and rounding them up and feeling them. It it's a bit time consuming, but it's supposed to be. We are not trying to get something done quickly. Here, this is actually time to be mindful and let everything else go and kind of be one with the art. So that's what I did and finished it there. And this is the second part of that in my abstract watercolor escape classes, that after I think third class we go into this. These are the patterns. I use this in the first week's sky topic as well. These patterns are like similar way to those neurographic connections I was just making, that once I start making them, that I just want to see how they're gonna end up. Because as I'm doing them, if you watch them on full screen, you can see they are not perfectly straight, and they are not supposed to be. If there is an imperfection on the previous line, like a bump or like in or out, a hole or a bump on the lines, I kind of emphasize that on the next one. I try to follow it. So this way it kind of gives this texture to your paintings. This straight pattern often reminds me how a bed sheet would look like after a night's sleep, that's with all bumps and holes and curves. And I really like making these patterns and creating these textures. And this to me, I found this later after the neurographic lines, this to me is even more relaxing, and I really enjoy. Sometimes I just make a big page and just fill it with patterns, and it's a really calming art practice. I would totally recommend doing that. So at the moment, like I said, I don't have any plan. I'm just letting it flow out of me. I'm going with, like, I'm doing one thing and looking what could be next. I have no idea how this is going to end up, basically. And I edit the patterns, and this is how it looks like. It could have finished here if you wanted to, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna also add watercolors, and watercolors is another relaxing art practice, in my opinion, because you add the water and let them go and flow into each other. Look, there's also flow there. And that's what I'm gonna do here. I picked these three colors. It's I think cherry blossom pink, cadmium orange, and red, but this is not full. Maybe it's maroon. Yeah, it is maroon, I think. And I decided to go with this tree. I just added pink. Again, I'm thinking, okay, what could be next? What am I gonna paint here? I'm trying to make up rules as I go. I'm adding big ones. I gave the big ones to the pink, and so it's the main color I wanted to show. But then with orange, I was like filling the circles. I thought, I think I'm gonna feel some space with this orange and see where it goes. And because also not all the circles were connecting, and I wanted some of the colors flowing into each other, as you can see the orange is doing into the pink right now. So I decided to do a bit color blocking with orange, and this actually gave lots of character to the painting. And I wanted to a bit like checkered, like there is on the left, and then I didn't do right underneath, but on the bottom diagonal I'm filling. And also because of the orange, it turned out a bit more autumnish, which also I liked at the end. Again, this wasn't planned. I'm just letting it flow out of me and taking one step at a time. And of course, some splashes, always splash. Never enough splashes. And I decided there pink was a bit disappearing, so I'm gonna help with it. So I'm adding a bit more pink because I want the pink to be visible and the colors to a bit go into each other. As you can see, I, with my brush, gently touched the orange so that top left corner could connect to the orange part. And I'm gonna now let it flow around a bit. Can you hear the flow every now and then? That the theme is all throughout the tutorial here. And then I decided that I should make these connections so the entire entire page could be like flowing from one side to another. And once I was satisfied with that, I decided pink disappeared again. So with the dry brush, I picked up some of the paint from some of the orange, and I'm gonna add some more pink there so that it will be more visible. And more splashes with the pink. And this was it. I really enjoyed this. I'm glad that I didn't plan and I just went with empty head, and this came out. This is when it's still drying. So once it's dried, that the colors will be a bit more muted, which again, for this autumnish look, it also helps. After the painting, I thought that these patterns, they actually look like a bit like a ball of yarns. And these are the other three. So this is the three I made for this. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'm looking forward to seeing yours. Don't forget to share yours on Instagram, and these are your hosts on the right hand side, and these are the other prompts that grow and waves are still coming. There will be tutorials on them too. So I'm going to see you on Instagram, and don't forget to check out my Skillshare classes too. Bye.